Today I want to talk to you about emotional eating. This video is going to be slightly different. In this video, I actually want information from you. I'm curious about your experience. We get so many clients that come to us, and when we ask what they struggle with, that's what they say. I struggle with emotional eating. One caveat, emotional eating, every human being does. If you are human, you eat for emotional reasons. Not to say that you don't eat for physiological reasons as well, but we're human. So that means you might have a birthday party, and in celebration, we gather and we eat together. Thanksgiving is in the US is a perfect example of gathering together and eating together to celebrate. Emotional eating on some level is completely normal for all human beings. But when clients come to me and they say, no, I struggle with emotional eating, they mean something different. Here's where you come in. I have a sneaking suspicion that for each person, emotional eating looks slightly different. And so I'm curious what emotional eating looks like for you. Now, I've already kind of given away what the question is that I have for you, but let me rewind a little bit. When I had a weight problem, I also struggled with emotional eating. But at the time, I would have not been able to identify that to you. If someone had asked me, what do you struggle with? I would have said, I've got some weight on me that I can't get off. I wouldn't have said emotional eating, but I did struggle with emotional eating. So how can that be? How can someone struggle with it, have the excess weight to prove it, but not realize that that's what they're struggling with? Well, in my case, I can tell you it's because of how I imagined what emotional eating was. So when I was overweight, if someone used the term emotional eating, I thought that that meant a very linear process. Somebody was stressed and they went and they picked up a bowl of ice cream, or somebody was stressed and they ate a bag of chips. In my world, even though at that time I did struggle with binge eating even, to me, it was free floating. When I would binge eat, it would just happen. I would sit down, I would be eating, I'd open up a bag of chips, I'd start eating, and then suddenly the whole bag would be gone. It wasn't connected to a specific emotion. I didn't have a bad day and come home and eat a box of cookies. I would just eat a box of cookies whenever, And so it wasn't until after I had done a lot of internal work that I began to realize what emotional eating, how that showed up in my life. I was dealing with a lot of stress within my family. In high school, I can tell you, I was in a pretty abusive home. Those things made it so that when I would eat, eating was self-soothing to me, but I didn't even realize it. And it wasn't, like I said, when I started to do more internal work, that's when I realized the crunchy chips, just eating those over and over and over again, even when I'm way past the point of full, there was something soothing in that to me, but not so much that right after some bad event happened, I would just go grab the chips. So it was very subtle. It was like, here's the behavior over here. Here, the symptoms obviously is my weight, but what's the cause? Well, the cause was hidden from me. It was like way, way back here. My question for you then is, what does emotional eating look like for you? Does it look like you've had a stressful day and then you sit down and you're like, all right, I need chocolate ice cream because I know that's going to make me feel better. I have a sneaking suspicion that it shows up for different people in different ways. And I'm curious what that looks like. This might be a vulnerable topic. So if you feel good about commenting below and letting me know what that looks like for you, do so. But if you don't want to share that to social media, then feel free to reach out to me, just direct message me and let me know. I find that when we have emotional complexities like this, it's not always easy to identify, and it's not a simple, I'm sad and then this. It's much more complex. And so if I can get a feel for what you guys, how you experience it, I think that'll help me quite a bit.